along the way, while we've been talking about this on Sundays, I've also been having a number of conversations with a whole bunch of you during the week. And just the other day, Steve Wood called me. And he said, man, I just wanted to talk to you for a few minutes because I am so excited about this campaign, and I'm really excited about turning in a card on Sunday. And as we began to talk more about what they were so excited about, I was like, Steve, would you and Angie be willing to come up on stage on Sunday morning and talk about this a little bit with everyone and just share kind of what God's been teaching you about giving and what it has meant for you to strategically support Access Church. So here's a nice picture of the Woods at the beach with their son Ethan, who's 6th grade, right? Fifth, that's right. About to start middle school. We've had these about to start middle school conversations.
Right.
And we just baptized him a couple months ago, so that was a lot of fun. And so this is the Woods. Make them feel welcome.
Thank you.
First of all, how long have you been at Access Church? It's been a few years. I remember back in our University of North Florida days, you guys running the 2-year-olds in Wombaland like.
No, they ran us.
Yeah.
I think the church had started about 6 months or so.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was 2007. So I know you know
Yeah.
better than I, but
Yeah.
that was shortly after.
That is awesome. Well,
Yeah.
we are so grateful, and it's been so fun to kind of run alongside you guys and to be a part of this. Where do you guys live in Jacksonville?
We live, I guess, Harbor Woods off of Monument, kind of on the north.
Mm-hmm.
Fort Caroline area.
Yeah.
How many churches do you think you pass between your house and here?
Oh, boy. That's a great question. A lot. Can I just go there? There are a lot of churches.
None
that we
is
do
good.
pass.
So we got to keep this moving quick, but I know that because I know I'm about to open a can of worms here, but like, what would cause you, why? Like, why drive past all those churches to come from up at Monument all the way down here to go to church? What is it that just keeps you coming back to Access Church?
Yeah, another good question. We feel though the church is really kind of our GPS and beacon for our path forward. We really enjoy the people here, but it's been an investment in what we're building as our family. That's been extremely valuable to us. So that value we're receiving, we certainly wanted to give back, as you mentioned, obviously through our giving, but also when we are able to volunteer and do the things for the church that help other people find the kind of values we found.
Yeah. How about you, Angie?
It's the environment's created for our child and everyone else's that keep us coming back, and great relationships that we formed over 12 years.
Yeah. So we talked pretty openly on the phone the other day about, this whole give, save, live thing, and you guys are willing to stretch and take another step, which is just we're so grateful for that. What, for y'all, like, has that just been a way that you've always lived, where you've given first and saved second, lived on the rest, or has it been a difficult thing for you? Kind of what's your process or your story been like to kind of get to a place where giving is such an important priority for you?
Yeah, I think we, back in 6 or 7, we really began thinking about how is this going to work for us and what is our responsibility. And when you really put it in the context that you've given it to us, which is, so God's providing for you, he's just asking for his part of that to continue to grow his kingdom. So we began thinking about that, and we built on it slowly over time. Which really brings us to here. And the crazy thing is so much has happened that would affect that we've literally fought off and said, nope, we can do this. In 17, Angie came to me in the fall and said, got this really big idea. And I was like, okay. So
we talked about that last week. And whenever it's let's talk, right? Whenever your wife says let's talk.
So the big idea was I want to invest in our family. And by doing that, that means I want to retire. So we had this plan to retire together and, walk off in the sunset and all that sort of thing. But now she really brought to me a real value statement that said, I want to invest in you. Or was that a sales job? I want to invest in you, our family, and Ethan, our son, and take that time to really invest in him now rather than us in the future, which is saving and investing in the things we do. And so in March of 18, Angie retired. And at that point, we're like, okay, what does that do to giving? And that's a huge part of our income. So we made the decision to leave it where it is, even though the income had dropped. And I think I mentioned to you, I'm this guy that would rather be on a tractor, plowing peanuts than working in a business. But, the amazing thing is we sort of turned it over to God. I know I did, and I know Angie did. And the raises that have happened, the bonuses that had never, ever occurred in my 30 years with this company, all of a sudden began to happen. So we've actually been able to increase in her retirement, which for me, I'm telling you, sometimes I told Rich, I'm in meetings and I say stuff and I'm like, that sounded good. Where did that come from? I don't even know where is that? And it's sort of like God showing up in your life, and he has provided for us in ways that we've been able to help other people, even in situations that maybe we felt stretched. So we're looking forward to this because the return, Angie's big idea has been a great return for us. I mean, I've certainly gotten the benefit. Ethan's grades are better than they've ever been. He's doing really well in school. She's happier from my perspective. She can speak to that. That seems happier than she's ever been.
Which makes you happier.
Yeah. I mean, we have, I can go home for lunch. I mean, it's a great thing. But the thing there is...
Don't overshare.
Yeah. There's also... Well, it's only once a week. So the thing is that, we've gotten value in two ways. Building our relationship, our family, and Angie adding a lot of value to that, and the monetary side of that. But guys, if the monetary hadn't showed up, I'm really happy with the intangible parts of what's been given to us.
Yeah, we talked about that because you feel like, when you share your story, and Stephanie and I have similar stories, where we've stretched and we've taken a step to give more, and then God has shown up in some really tangible ways. And I'm always afraid to share those stories because you don't want to make a promise to someone else that you're going to get some tangible reward. But at the same time, it is like he knows that we're children and we need some real tangible reminders that he sees and he honors our sacrifice.
Yeah, and I couldn't say it any better than you. Obviously, that's why you're up here. But the thought would be that if you've never done it, and it's a step, you should consider that step, the values and how God shows up when you begin to take those steps, I think will truly amaze you. And those opportunities are amazing when you see them and you go, how did that happen? Oh, I took a step. Yeah. And I would encourage you, the size of the step is not as important as begin to take the walk. If you begin to take the walk, these things sort of become more natural, and they become, in a way, you really begin to understand, okay, the values I'm going to receive by doing my small part to what has been given are far outweigh any less lunches we take or less, toys you might buy, those kinds of things. So I would encourage anyone to start taking those steps.
Good. Thank you guys so much for being willing to share. Guys, say thank you to Angie and Steve.